Hey guys, Mike Sumsky here with another real estate investment tip, and this is all about pulling comps. Now, it's super important as a real estate investor. You have to have ways to pull good comps for houses because you got to know what you're dealing with. You won't know how much to pay for a house unless you know what the house is worth and what it's going to be worth fixed up. So there's a lot of websites out there like Zillow and Trulia and Redfin. And some other sites that can give you a decent approximation for value. Now, some are better than others, and sometimes they can be accurate, but other times I find that they can be really inaccurate. So by far, the best way to pull comps is to have access to the MLS. Definitely if you have an opportunity to have access to MLS, if you're a real estate agent or broker, you've already got it made. Now, if you're not, you've got a little bit of work to do, but it is very possible to get MLS access. One thing you can do is actually just network with an agent that you can agree to send leads to them, provide them with some kind of incentive for them to be able to pull comps for you. Now, it doesn't always make sense to call up that agent, have them do that work for every single property that you find. It's kind of impractical. Some agents have actually given their login and password to an investor. It's not really kosher, can get the agent in trouble if that finds out that they're giving their passwords out. But the best way is if you are not licensed, you can actually become an unlicensed assistant to a real estate broker. And most of the local MLSs will have a procedure for you to get your own login and password for the MLS by becoming an unlicensed assistant. And your roles as an unlicensed assistant might be to just send the realtor leads that you get in your day-to-day activities and talking with sellers, houses that you don't buy. Send your leads over to the real estate agent, and that would be your official duties. Often that can get you MLS access. So that's the best way to do it. But what I'm going to here to show you is another option. This is actually if you live in Washington, Idaho, or Oregon. JohnLScott.com is probably the best site that I've found for being able to find good comps, and I'm going to show you why. What we're going to do, this is the JohnLScott.com page. I am going to select a zip code where I live in the 98310. It's Bremerton, Washington. And I'm just going to assume that I've got a property, like a 3-bedroom house that I figure is probably worth somewhere around $150,000. And so I'm just going to select all the properties between, say, $100,000 and $200,000. We can select 3+ beds. We're going to really be able to drill down here in a second. I'll show you, but 3 beds, 2 baths, 1,500+ square feet. And then over here, this is really important, not only do you get the active properties, but you can also select the pending and the sold comps as well. You can also just show the bank-owned properties if necessary, but we're going to leave that unchecked here because we want all the houses. And if we hit search, this is going to bring us to a map view of all the properties around here. Now they're color-coded based on active, pending, and sold. And you can hover over each one of these homes and you can get more detailed information. In fact, we can just click on a photo. It'll take you to that specific property. You can see this one's pending inspection. And we can go back here. You can actually zoom in. And by zooming in, it's actually really nice. When you get pretty far in here, this is going to change from an overhead map view to an actual bird's eye view, an aerial photo. And this allows you to really get in tight, take a look at the property. You can take a look at the neighborhood. I love how they've set this website up to be able to do that. And in addition, we're able to really narrow down our comps as well. We can select, before I had selected just 3+ bedrooms, but you can see we can go 3 to 4 bedrooms. We can narrow down our square footage to go 1,500 to 2,000. If the house is on acreage, we can select that too. And we figure the year built as well. So a lot of different functionality. All the properties on here are also in list view. You can take this list, you can print it out. You can actually, let me scroll up here. Oops. You can actually go over and you can hand select certain houses that you want to include in your comps. So let's say that I'm trying to look for properties, maybe like low comps. I might go and find, this one's sold for kind of low. We're going to select that one, and and this one sold for 159. If we're trying to buy a property at a good price, we might want to select some of the low comps to kind of show some of the houses that are out there, and to talk to the seller and say, hey, I know you want 200 for your home, but this is what some of the other houses are going for. And so we can select these low comps, and then also allows us to go and check our clipboard. So these 5 properties I showed now show up here. We can actually email this. We can print out the list. It gives us a very good way to be able to organize our comps. So if you don't live in the Northwest, you don't have a John L. Scott type website here, I would actually really like to know what else is out there. So maybe you found a better way to pull comps. I would love to hear about it. You can leave a comment below this video, and if you send it over, I'll be sure to do a lot of research on it. I'll post another video to help you out there. Or if you are living in a different part of the country that you don't have access to the John L. Scott website for your local area, but you have another local brokerage, share that with me in the comments too, and we'll talk to you in the next video. Take care.